I'd seen Tara sing at an event that Column organized, this Bloomsday event, but I had no idea of the extent to which Tara had been both doing research on the history of jazz, the history of jazz in Harlem, but also figuring out a way in which this Irish American, daughter of Irish immigrants, could honor this remarkably complex history that we've been talking about today, and then I think Mick and Lenny opened up so marvelously. So Tara, briefly, if I could ask you to just say a word about your albums that you've recorded, and how you got involved with this, and then I want to be sure you let people know where they can come see you before anything goes away. Tara and her trio are going to play for a little bit, 20-something minutes or so. They'll play a few tunes, and then I'm going to ask Peter Walsh to conclude the day by saying a word or two. So, Tara, tell me, beginning, where'd you start with the Celt? Is the Celt and the Cotton Club were the first, or was Black Irish Girl?
No. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Can you see me? All right, there you are. So I grew up in New York. I'm a Queens girl, and I grew up in a household where there was Irish traditional music playing, but also jazz, because my brother studied jazz and had a scholarship to university playing jazz, playing saxophone. And so when you're hearing both of those in your ears, it influences you. And I started singing jazz, and I always had Danny Boy in my set. One reason, because when I'd sing at an Irish party, they'd be like, Tara, sing us a song, but none of that jazz shite. And so I'd say, fine, I'll sing you an Irish song, but I'm going to sing it like Billie Holiday. So, when I started performing jazz and blues, the musicians that I was working with, who were African American and Jewish, they would call me Black Irish. And I said, oh, have you heard that term before? Do you know? Like, why are you calling me Black Irish? Because I was called Black Irish as a child, and growing up, just because of my coloring with the dark hair, and that's what, people in Ireland call each other, someone who looks like me, Black Irish. They'll come up and say, oh, look at her, she's Black Irish, because the rest of my cousins were red hair, blonde hair. So I was used to that term, but for my musicians to call me Black Irish, they said, well, we're calling you that because we think you sound like a sister. They just thought I sounded I sounded like either Ella Fitzgerald or Billie Holiday when I performed. And I took that as a huge compliment. And I wear Billie around my neck. And when people see the picture, they say, oh, is that your mother? and I don't know if they're blind or just because, well, Billie is very light-skinned, but I do tell them that Billie Holiday's real name was Eleanor Fagan. And her great-grandfather was an Irish slave owner, and her great-grandmother bore 16 of his children. She grew up in Philadelphia, but raised in Baltimore, and when she made her way to Harlem, she, at like 13, she was working with her mother in some, thank you. And, but that's when she started singing and she started performing, she changed her name. And she took on the name Billie. In one of her books, it says because her dad thought called her a tomboy, and he called her Billie when she was a kid. Other people say it's after Billie Dove, the actress. But she took Clarence Holiday's last name. Her father was in Fletcher Henderson's band, and so she took the stage name Billie Holiday. But a lot of people don't know that her last name is Fagan. So that's kind of how it started. And Louis Armstrong also comes from, he grew up in New Orleans in a neighborhood that was referred to as the battlefield because it was so dangerous. There were women throwing bricks at their men and slashing them with razor blades, and he grew up in a violent atmosphere, but he was actually petrified going into the Irish neighborhood. There were two places in New Orleans where the Irish were. One was the Irish Channel, and the other is the Irish Bayou, and that's what I named my most recent New Orleans album after, because I figured if I went with Irish Channel, they'd think it's like RTE or a news channel or something. They wouldn't understand it was a neighborhood, so I went for Irish Bayou, which gave you the flavor of the gumbo. But Louis, in his memoir, he said he was so afraid going into the Irish Channel because they were just tougher people than the people in his neighborhood. So the Irish were really tough, such strugglers and survivors and fighters. And he remembers, I think he was only 11 at the time, he was standing waiting for a tram, and he saw an Irish cop, and he said, officer, do you know what time it is? And the police officer took out his baton and hit him over the head and said, 1 o'clock. And Louis, who always had a sense of humor till the day he died, he said, well, I'm glad it wasn't 12. But that's the way Louis was. So Duke Ellington in 1927 came up, he composed the song Black and Tan Fantasy. Now, for those of you who don't know, there were tons of speakeasies all over New York, and the ones up in Harlem were called Black and Tans because that's where you could mingle with each other, because a lot of the jazz clubs were whites only. There were black performers on stage, and the whites were the ones coming to the clubs to hear the music. But there were so many white musicians and black musicians who wanted to jam together, and also patrons who wanted to dance together. And the only place they could do it were in these Black and Tans. So Duke Ellington composed this fantasy because he believed that racial integration was possible. And in his song, he has 16-bar European structure with African-American blues-based expressions. So he combines those. So it's just all of these things are mixed up in the history of the New York jazz scene and whatnot. So that's my story.
Okay.
Have I said enough on it? Yeah. I didn't even let you ask any questions. But yeah, Black Irish is the first album, which is all traditional Irish songs that I swing like Billy. And then someone asked, couldn't you actually write your own songs? And I said, sure, I can. Or I didn't know I could, but then I did. And then I did a blues album in Nashville called Good Things Come to Those Who Wait. And then the bass player there said, you sound like a Celt in the Cotton Club. So I said, well, that's a great title, and that's my next album, A Celt in the Cotton Club. So I wrote original songs mixed with Irish songs. It's all jazz, blues, and swing. And finally, the new one is Irish Bayou, and it is a tribute to the Irish in New Orleans. And I've performed down there a number of times. And there was a time in New Orleans when there was 1 in 5 Irish people. So there's a great book. It's a best-selling book right now in New Orleans, written by Dr. Laura Kelly, that you should definitely connect with if you haven't. She's written The Irish in New Orleans, and she's on her second book. She had so much she couldn't put into the first one that she's coming out. And I'm in the first one, which is brilliant, because they had me down singing this song on a float in the Irish Channel during their St. Patrick's Day parade in New Orleans. So, and it just happens to be ranked number 6 in the best-selling blues songs in the UK right now, so I'm kind of proud of that. And it's the first song I ever recorded.
Oh, Danny boy, the pipes are calling from glen to glen and down the mountainside. The summer's gone and all the flowers are dying. 'Tis you must go and I must bide. But come ye back when summer's in the meadow, or when the valley's hushed and white with snow. 'Tis I'll be there in sunshine or in shadow. Oh, Danny boy, I love you so.
howl right there, everybody.
And if you come when all the flowers are dying, and I am dead, as dead I will may be, you'll come and find the place where I am lying, and kneel and say, and I'll be there for me. And I shall hear those soft you tread above me, and all my dreams will warm as sweet to be. If you not fail to tell me that you love me, I'll simply sleep in peace until you come to me. Oh, Danny boy, I love you so. Oh, Danny boy, I love you so. Oh, Danny boy, I love you so.
Thank you. And David Shake right here on the bass. So what I didn't mention was that 102-year-old song was embraced by the African Americans. Once it was written by an Englishman, and when it, mostly sung it in Ireland at funerals and whatnot, and a lot of it's an anthem for Irish Americans, but a lot of people are just like, oh, Danny Boy, we're sick of that song. But once it came to America, and Black America embraced it, like Jackie Wilson and Harry Belafonte and Mahalia Jackson, they transformed it. And it became something else. It became a blues song, and it became something you could swing and dance to. And then when it went back to Ireland, the Irish respected the song more because it had, even Elvis Presley and Johnny Cash took it and did it in a different way too. But it's just interesting how they saw it differently. But the Black Americans recognized the loss and hope themes that went through the song, and they just said, yeah, this is our song now. So you guys, I was mentioning Louis Armstrong. There is a recording that Louis Armstrong made in 1926 with the Chicago Hot Five. And it's called Irish Black Bottom. Has anyone ever heard it? Two people, three people. So he recorded this in 1926 in Chicago. And the Black Bottom was a dance that was more popular than the Charleston in the year of 1926. And it refers to the muddy Mississippi base of the river. But what's fascinating is that if you listen to Louis' version of it, he's singing about being Irish, and he laughs about saying, I was born in Ireland. And he just talks about how the Irish have embraced this new dance called the Black Bottom. So it's interesting to think, was he is he talking about the Irish that he met in New Orleans or Chicago? Though he was in New York with Fletcher Henderson's band that year. So I don't know, but definitely it shows you that they've been interacting, especially if he's going to sing a song like this. We do it a little differently from Mr. Armstrong. We made it a funk. And I did add my own little shout outs at the end of the song. So this is on Irish Bayou. It's called Irish Black Bottom.
All you heard from years in Ireland was the wearing of the green. But the biggest change in Ireland that I have ever seen. All the laddies and the Colleens set aside their Irish reels. But I was born in Ireland, so imagine how I feel. Now Ireland's gone black bottom crazy. See them dance, you ought to see them dance. Folks supposed to be related, even dance. I mean they dance. They played that string, works right on my brain. There it goes, black bottom, the new rhythm driving the folks insane. I hand you no blind name when I say that song really goes, and they put it over with a wow. I mean now, all over Ireland you can see the people dancing in, 'cause Ireland's gone black bottom crazy now. See them dance, you ought to see them dance. See them dance, you ought to see them dance. They played that string, works right on my brain. Now it goes black bottom, the new rhythm driving the folks insane. I hand you no blind name when I say that song really goes, and they put it over with a wow. I mean now, all over Ireland you can see the people dancing in, 'cause Ireland's gone back bottom crazy now. All my Galway girls do the black bottom dance. All my Belfast babies do the black bottom dance. Hello Mayo, I do the black bottom dance. Rock's coming in the house, do the black bottom dance. From Cork to New York, do the black bottom dance. Don't forget Dublin, I'll do the black bottom dance. What's up, Waterford? Do the black bottom dance. Up Donegal, yeah, yeah. Bow, 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 bow. Bow, 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 bow. Ba-dee-dee-dee-dee, ba-dee-dee-dee-dee-dee. Do the black bottom dance. Uh-huh. Thank you, thank you. Okay, now, I thought Peter Quinn was going to be here. But he's not. But anyway, Peter Quinn, author Peter Quinn and I were going to collaborate once on something because he's a Bronx boy, and my dad's a Bronx boy. And I said, well, I know that Billie Holiday is buried in the Bronx. She's buried in St. Raymond's. And I said to Peter, I'd love to collaborate and maybe write a song about her and her Irish roots. And Peter never got back to me, so I wrote the song, and it's called Gardenia Girl. And it is on my Celt and the Cotton Club album, so here we go. Gardenia Girl singing her blues, primping for showtime and shining her shoes. Sing for your supper, swing for a dime, and nothing better than holiday chime. Gardenia Girl singing her blues, with fruit so strange it's making the news. Good morning, howdy, good night, lady day. Who on God's earth taught you to sing that way? Across the river under St. Raymond's wing, I can still hear you sing. Like a temperamental thrush in the daylight or at dusk, it's amazing what moonlight can bring. Gardenia Girl, sighing her name. A Celtic bloodline stings through her veins. Lady Eleanor, Miss Fagin to you. Wouldn't you know the Irish want to claim you too? across the river under St. Raymond's wing, I can still hear you sing. Like a temperamental thrush in the daylight or at dusk, it's amazing what moonlight can bring. Gardenia Girl, sighing her name, a Celtic bloodline sings through her veins. Lady Eleanor, Miss Fagin to you. Wouldn't you know the Irish want to claim you too?
Thank you, thank you. All right, so I found it fascinating when Mick and Lenny were talking about New Orleans and on their screen here, where the Irish, because I wrote a song about this, so I just couldn't believe it. It's basically everything that I've been researching. When I was down in New Orleans, the director of the Irish Cultural Museum in the French Quarter, he asked me to write a song about the Irish who died digging the New Basin Canal. And they said that it's not really well known, not in many textbooks, and that it needs to be more known about this. They're not even sure how many thousands died. They think it could be anywhere between 8,000 and 30,000. That's a big, gap there. But as they mentioned in their presentation, the slaves were considered much more valuable than the Irish who were coming on the ships from the famine, so the Irish were eager to work, and they would be bit by mosquitoes and basically die while digging, and their colleagues would just cover them up in the mud, and so they weren't buried properly. And I decided to take the African spiritual Dem Dry Bones and write this song based on that. And again, I put it to a funk. These are like the only 2 funk songs that I have, so don't think that all my albums, we have a mix of jazz, blues, we even have Zydeco and folk and everything else, but this one is another funk, and it's from the New Orleans Irish Bayou called Dem Dry Bones.
Them bones, them bones, them bones, them dry bones. I said them bones, ba-da-da-da-da, them bones, ba-da-da-da-da, them bones, ba-da-da-da-da, bum-bum-bum-bum-bum-la-dum. Head bone connected to the neck bone, neck bone connected to the shoulder bone. Shoulder bone connected to the backbone. 8,000 died. I said them bones, ba-da-da-da-da, them bones, ba-da-da-da-da, them bones, ba-da-da-da-da, bum-bum-bum-bum-bum-la-dum, them bones, ba-da-da-da-da, them bones, ba-da-da-da-da, them bones, ba-da-da-da-da, them dry bones. Got them paddies digging ditches daily, worth nothing to no one but $1 wage. Might as well be digging his own grave. 9,000 died. I said them bones, ba-da-da-da-da, them bones, ba-da-da-da-da, them bones, ba-da-da-da-da, bum-bum-bum-bum-bum-la-dum, them bones, ba-da-da-da-da, them bones, ba-da-da-da-da, them bones, ba-da-da-da-da, them dry bones. them bones gonna walk around, them bones gonna walk around, them bones gonna walk around. Now hear the word. I said them bones gonna walk around, them bones gonna walk around, them bones gonna walk around. Now hear the word. Left the holy ground to seek better days, sludging through the swamp in the mosquito haze. Might as well be digging his own grave. 10,000 died in unmarked graves. I said them bones, but I 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 them dry bones in unmarked graves.
Thank you. So we have one final song, and this one is also from the Black Irish album. It's a Scottish folk song, actually, but it's about how wide the water is, and the Irish and the Africans had to cross that ocean to come to this country. So this is in memory of them.
The water is wide, I can't cross so. And either hand I've the wings to fly. Give me a boat that can carry two, and both shall row. My love and I, oh, love is handsome, and love is fine, and love's a jewel when it is first new. But love grows old and waxes cold and fades away like morning dew.
Michael Howell, everybody.
and David Shake. There is a ship that sails the sea. It's loaded deep, as deep can be, but not so deep as my love for him. I know not if I sink or swim, the water is wide, I can't cross on, and I've had I've the wings to fly. Give me a boat that can carry two, and both shall row. My love and I, and both shall row. My love and I.